So in 2016, I attended my first Women in Aviation conference, and I sat down in the audience to hear Jessica Cox speaking, which is the first armless pilot in the world. And her journey about not quitting and her relentlessness to make her dream happen. Hearing just Jessica, for me, that was like, okay, if she has no excuses, I have no excuses in life. I went into this relentless quest of self growth to be a better person, to be a kind person, and to make sure that when I was in a position to help other women, I could. I struggled a lot to learn English, and that took a toll a little bit in my confidence. But I always thought, okay, I might not be ready now, but that doesn't mean I cannot be ready in the future. And I just became really self aware of my whole persona and how I could be a good leader.
On Air, brought to you by Women in Aviation International, strategic partners Amazon and United. I'm Kelly Murphy with On Air, and today we're passing the mic over to Nikisha Ramsey with United. She has a full panel of United employees ready to talk about the many careers available inside and outside of the flight deck.
I am so excited to be here in the room with this hashtag girl power at the Women in Aviation International Conference. United is a proud diamond sponsor this year. And one of the things that we really love to do is we love to highlight all of the different types of careers that you can have both inside and outside of the flight deck at United Airlines. And I have the pleasure of chatting with 4 phenomenal women, and we'll learn a little bit about their backgrounds and their journeys at United. And so if you could just take a moment, introduce yourselves, and tell us a little bit about what you do.
My name is Kate Bufton. I am the flight operations manager at the Denver airport. So I work in the chief pilot's office, and I am also a first officer on the 737.
Fantastic.
Hi, my name is Houa Vang. I'm one of the operational ramp tower managers here in Denver in the ramp tower.
Hi, my name is Veronica Leacock, and I am a manager for our apprenticeship program, Calibrate, for aircraft maintenance.
Roberta Zimmerman, Director of Air Traffic Strategy Data Analytics.
Awesome. So the first thing that I noticed is 4 very different career paths standing in front of me. And one of the things that I would love to share and showcase is just how you all came to be where you are. Like, I think it's super interesting to hear about your journeys. And I guess I should introduce myself too, right? That should be part of the conversation. My name is Nikisha Ramsey, and I'm the Director of Early Careers and Talent Partnerships at United Airlines. And I have the pleasure of welcoming folks to United Airlines early in their careers and building phenomenal relationships with organizations like Women in Aviation. And so let's talk a little bit about how you all each landed at United and what you do, okay? And I am going to start with you, Miss Kate. I was so excited when I had the opportunity to chat with you. I did a little Google search, I won't lie. I Googled all of you. And one of the things that I thought was really cool was your all-female flight in the Air Force. And then when I talked to you, I learned something even cooler about how you landed, pun intended, how you landed at United Airlines. Can you tell us a little bit more about your journey?
Absolutely. I have probably one of the most random landings at United, but it's a proud landing.
Yes.
So I was in the Air Force, like you said, for 15 years on active duty. Transitioned over to the reserves for the last 8 years. My husband flies for another airline, and so we moved to Denver. And during that time, I was kind of lost. I was flying in the reserves. Every once in a while, I needed to find something to do. So, let's go get your teaching license. That makes sense. So I taught multiple classes. I taught a world cultures class. I taught kindergarten, first and second grade. And I was at a parent-teacher conference in first grade, and the dad of the parent-teacher conference, we had a great conference, and at the end he goes, "You fly, right?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, you should come fly at United." And I said, "Well, my husband flies for another airline." And I start listing all the excuses. And he's like, "No excuses. No excuses. We're going to do this." And I said, okay. And so of course, I had all my ratings and I had recency of experience. So I had ticked all the boxes, but I didn't know that it was something I could do. And so Captain Rob Robson, Denver A320 captain, came over to my house on Saturdays and prepared me and walked me through the path. And here I am today.
That is an amazing story. So, first of all, I have a background in recruiting and I have a saying called always be recruiting. So, Captain, thank you so much for always
Yes.
recruiting and living the values. But I think what also resonates is that he was a mentor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
To this day.
To this day.
Yes. I am.
Yes. So, we have to thank him for bringing talented folks to United Airlines.
Yes.
And Houa,
Well, hello.
hello,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here with everybody here.
I'm excited to have you, and I'm excited to tell everyone about your journey as well. So, you actually started in customer service and have progressed wonderfully since then. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, so I actually started in customer service as a customer service representative. And while I was doing that, I was actually going to school for air traffic control, hoping to get a degree in ATC and pursue that. While I was doing that, I was kind of looking for ways to kind of make myself like a good candidate for ATC.
Mm-hmm.
And so, speaking around with a lot of the CSRs, I actually ran into one of the lobby leads who told me about the Denver Ramp Tower.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea really what the Ramp Tower was at the time. And so he gave me the contact for one of the controllers. And I reached out and they scheduled me a day to shadow. So I was able to go up and oh man, that day changed so many things because I sat in one of our very busy banks in that 10 o'clock bank where we've got arrivals on top of departures and just the chaos of the ramp and the gate holds and like all the planes calling and the static of the busyness on the tone or the radio. I just loved it. So while I was up there, I asked about how I could be in this position because I knew that having that experience would make me a great candidate for FA, which at the time was the goal, right?
Yep.
And Denver was unique because the ramp tower was actually union at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They were part of the CS union, and so he just told me that you'd bid into the position, and it's based off of your work status. So whether if you were full time or part time, and then seniority. And at the time, I was part time. I was going to school full time,
Sure.
and so I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, okay, well, it would be great if I could have this on my resume so that I could be a great candidate. But it's okay if I don't.
Yeah.
But they reached out to me and told me when the position was posted because I continued to stay in contact with everybody. And somehow I got it being part time. And so thankfully, I got it right at the end of my spring semester. And so I took the summer semester off to do the training in the ramp tower, which was, oh my gosh, one of the most difficult trainings that I've ever gone through, just because it's so intense with everything going on in Denver. And somehow I got through it. Well, I can't say that because a lot of the support that you get from the ramp tower, everyone's there to see you succeed.
Mhm.
And so I'm so thankful that I had a great team to like help me learn what I needed to do
Yeah.
to get through the training.
Yeah.
But I got through training, continued to do school, and 3 years flew by so fast. And so at the end of that, I was graduating and had to make a decision because the goal was always ATC. But I went through so many things in the ramp tower, and the Denver ramp tower, everything was growing so much.
Mhm.
And I kind of was thinking, I want to be part of this growth that United has coming
Yeah.
because United was just getting gates. We had lots of upgrades. We were just going up, and I wanted to be part of this. And so I actually reached out to my manager at the time, kind of just conflicted on what I was going to do.
Mhm.
And my manager was so supportive. And I explained that, with me graduating, I want to move forward with United and go up and do more than what I'm doing right now.
Mm.
And he was like, that's great, like that's what we want. And so he was very supportive. He put me in contact with the people I needed to be in contact with to really set myself up to be in the position that I am here now as the ramp tower manager. And so that was the biggest changes. The biggest deciding factor for me was the support of like United itself and
Yeah.
all the people at United. So yeah, that's how I got here.
You know, I'm hearing some themes here. I'm hearing themes of support. I'm hearing themes of advocacy from all. I'm hearing themes of career growth. And you're in the role because you are qualified and you are phenomenal and you are leading now a ramp tower for one of the fastest growing airlines, or I'm sorry, the fastest growing hubs at United. So that is commendable.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that story.
Yes, thank you.
So I also Googled you, Veronica. But you know, it's interesting. I Googled you, but the 5 minutes that I just spent talking to you, I think I've learned so much more about you. You are just like an onion to just, you learn so much. But we think about groups like Women in Aviation and their importance to both women and men in this industry. And one of the things that I found out when I did a little bit of a research is how you were inspired by one of the Women in Aviation conferences and conversations to just keep going. And in the last couple of minutes, I've learned so many things about you, your journey, and the fact that you just keep going. Tell us a little bit about what inspires you and what you're proud of in your journey.
Yeah, so in 2016, I attended my first Women in Aviation conference, and I sat down in the audience to hear Jessica Cox speaking, which is the first armless pilot in the world. And her journey about not quitting and her relentlessness to make her dream happen gave me an aha moment. During that time, I was going through a separation, and I had to make the decision to leave my daughter with her dad, which it was very difficult because I didn't have any family here, and I was working night shift. So I just thought this is the best for my daughter. But there was the guilt of being a mother and leaving your daughter. But I also was a very young mother that had a fire to develop her career. So hearing Jessica's story, I was just like, I'm gonna develop my career and I'm gonna be a good mother.
Mm-hmm.
No excuses.
Mm-hmm.
And I went into this relentless quest of self growth to be a better person, to be a kind person, and to make sure that when I was in a position to help other women, I could. And I would, because when I was trying to work for, move around my career, in tacos, you have at that time very little mentors.
Mm-hmm.
And the details was in the little things. Should I wear a skirt? Should I paint my nails? Should my hair go up? How can I convey my technical ability also with my leadership skill? And I struggled a lot to learn English, and that took a toll a little bit in my confidence. But I always thought, okay, I might not be ready now, but that doesn't mean I cannot be ready in the future. And I just became really self aware of my whole persona and how I could be a good leader.
Yeah.
I think it's you can be kind, but in being kind, you have to earn people's respect and trust. That is better than being just nice.
Yes.
And working with ladies in tech ups, I realized that they struggle a lot. And sometimes just they don't want to talk about it. And it's hard to find mentors because you don't have the confidence on yourself because it's a male dominated environment. So once I started building a reputation in the industry to influence people and like hear me out, there's value in helping this woman. And hearing just Jessica, for me, that was like, okay, if she has no excuses, I have no excuses in life.
Yeah.
And what I'm more proud of is two things. One, giving an example from my daughter. And in 2016, when I also came here in WAI, I went to a Marines workshop and I competed against a Marine because I was in shape. And they gave me a shirt saying, you should be a Marine. But I wasn't in a financial position just to go into the military and leave my daughter and be away. And I just got accepted this year to the Marine Officer Academy, and I will be going to be a Marine officer in the reserves in September. So very proud of that.
We are so proud of you. We can clap it up for you. That is amazing. Just learned that 5 minutes ago. So again, we are going to add that to the list of accomplishments. And thank you for being vulnerable and sharing some of those like real challenges and real struggles. But again, like the leadership that you all have shown is an example to your daughter and those coming behind you. And then Miss Roberta. So I read your background. You are the epitome of you can have any type of career you want at United Airlines and in this industry. And it seems as though like you knew exactly what you wanted to do. You knew that you wanted to be in aviation. I am so excited to hear a little bit about your journey.
So you're right. Always wanted to be in aviation. I started flying before I could drive, and I was hooked.
Wow.
Um,
That's a fun fact. I didn't
but I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I want to do, But aviation offers that opportunity,
Yeah.
to pivot around. So I've been very fortunate. I've been a pilot, did commercial work, flight instructing. I've been an air traffic controller at one of the busiest facilities in the United States. I've done systems engineering, supporting the FAA and DoD. And 4 years ago, I joined United, and I've had 2 careers within United so far in the same group. But it's super fun.
Yeah.
Each time I pivoted, it's been scary, vulnerable, but I've always learned something, and I've never regretted it.
Yeah.
So I'm leading a ATC data analytics team within United, one of the very first analytical teams for the air traffic strategy group. Super fun, supporting the growth of United.
Yeah.
The airspace, airports, runways, super congested already. So how do we support our growth given those limitations? So super fun. I have a great team, great support from everyone within United. Really looking forward to the future.
Yeah. Oh, you just lobbed that up perfectly. Thank you for this. So, before we started, you told me we measure everything at United, including stroopwafel usage, and right. So, since you measure everything, I'm assuming you have a real strong view on what's happening in the industry. What are you excited about in terms of what's next for United or what's next in this industry?
So the sky's the limit at this point.
Yeah.
So we're at a pivotal point. You hear AI in the news, machine learning, driveless cars. So how does that equate to aviation?
Yeah.
And that's where we're really looking forward to in the air traffic world is how do we leverage some of these new technologies? How do we use machine learning to better flow the airspace? What can we learn instead of mining day to day? What can the machines do for us and mine years of data to give us some of those insights? Look at trends, not just weekly, monthly, yearly, but historically, what are we looking at trends? And we've seen a change since COVID in how our passengers fly. So here we are at this, we have years of historical data, but we use 2019 as kind of a pivot point prior to 2019, and now we're looking post 2019. So, and we don't have a lot of data supporting post COVID yet, which is interesting. So, how can we use some of this advanced technology to help this data portion? United has partnered with new entrants to the airspace. So, we're looking from a flow perspective of air traffic. How do we introduce and integrate those new entrants without impacting our conventional operations? And that's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And that's the fun stuff that we get to look forward to.
Awesome. So you're over there solving hard problems is what I'm hearing.
It's a team effort.
Absolutely.
And I think every opinion matters, which is fun in bringing my diverse background into some of these discussions. I can look at it from not only an air traffic perspective, but from a pilot perspective. And then I look at a project plan from start to finish, and I can see some gaps, from a systems engineering perspective.
All right. So, Kate,
Yes.
I had the pleasure of meeting your niece, who is also an aspiring pilot and who is here with you.
Yes.
I also know that you were a teacher.
I was.
And so it feels like you really believe in mentoring and developing the next generation.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about how you do that and how we as a collective, especially with an organization like Women in Aviation, can ensure that we are mentoring the next generation of aviators.
Oh, such a good question. Well, you have so many layers, and especially being here at Women in Aviation, I've had so many opportunities to talk to so many different people who are in so many different facets of aviation, and they are coming to the United booth and asking, what is it like to be a pilot? But I'm interested in this. And I'm able to say, hey, I know great people. I know Houa. Go talk to the NOC. And I'm passing people along. So you have that availability to share what you know, but it's this connection and this teamwork piece that is giving us the chance to pass them to other experts in their field, which is amazing. I'm going to do a Girl Scout talk on the April 16th. Thank you for inviting me. I just did a career day at Sagewood Middle School. I'm doing a high school career day. I love talking to people about what we could do. And one of the questions I've gotten 3 times today, and I was kind of laughing because we were going to talk about it maybe a little bit today, was how do you balance being a parent and being in aviation? And it's hard. And I've told everybody it's hard.
Yep.
But when you have great mentors and great support network and people that you can go to both in your career field and outside of it, the team works together and we're able to make it work. So is it going to be hard? Sure.
Yeah.
Is it doable? Absolutely, because we are building off of each other and we are supporting each other. And it's such a great time to be at United
Yes.
and be in aviation right now.
Fantastic. Make sure you get us some Thin Mints when you go talk to
I've got you.
the Girl Scouts, please. Thank you very much.
I'm on it.
Anybody else have any thoughts? Yes, fantastic.
You know, the next step after mentorship, which is incredible, is allyship. And I think it's so, and we don't talk a lot about allies, I think. At least it was fairly new to me within United. And it's so important to have your support, your mentors and your support team, but to also take that next step and make themselves vulnerable for your support. And I found that within United outside of my group. My group is totally supportive, but it's also important to find those allies outside of your group too that can offer support to your career.
Yeah. You know, it is interesting you say that because I was attending a session this morning and some of the feedback that one of the presenters gave was being vulnerable enough to accept the mentorship. Sometimes you have to ensure that people know you're not perfect, right? And accept the fact that you might need a little bit of coaching, which is not easy to do in our field. So I appreciate that you mentioned that. Anyone else have anything to add?
I guess.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, I think when it comes to mentorship and allyship, it's exactly like you said. There's a part of you that it feels, it's almost like being a kid, right? And your parents tell you, do this and I'm going to help you. And you don't want to ask help from your parents because you're like, I got this. And we fall into that. And then with experience, you learn that it's okay to ask for help. And even if you think that you know or you feel competent in that domain, is to understand there's a different perspective of it. There's always a better way to do things. And that vulnerability comes with self-awareness. And sometimes it takes the right mentor to be like, you need to be more self-aware and it's okay not to know. And you accepting it as a person that I'm an imperfect human being and I need to get the help. And if any of these ladies right now, I could probably call and be like, I have a question about this. And it doesn't have to be work related. It could be like, I don't know if this is the right decision for this specific workshop or anything like that. And I think taking that vulnerability is something that we don't really do often as women.
Yeah.
Because we want to look so competent all the time. So I think that having the right mentors and the right allyship is definitely part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to add something?
Yeah, I will add something as well. I also think that like with the company that I work with, right, United, there is always opportunities to seek that mentorship. Everybody is willing to come to your aid. Everyone seems like we're here to succeed together.
Yep.
And United as a company, everyone is here to kind of help you get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
So we always have that support. within the company.
Can I add one more thing?
Please.
Yes.
Along what you guys said, which is just spot on, is it is easy to mentor when you are excited about what you do. And I feel like I am very excited about what I do and in this space and time. And it's so nice, to your point, to have that support. Like, I feel like I could call you, Veronica, tomorrow and be like, hey, I have this question about this, this, and this, and I'd be able to get all the support I needed. So, but it's just such a nice time to be in aviation. It's such a nice time to be at United, because we're also excited about what we do. We want to share and we want to mentor, to Houa's point.
Yeah, yeah. Veronica, I'm going to steal something that you said just before this, which is, hopefully I get this right, and maybe you can help me with this. There are phenomenal players, but in order for a team to work, all of those players need to work together, right? Is
Yes.
that right?
Yeah, that's a quote from a famous baseball coach, and it's easy to get good players, but it's very hard to get them to play together. And I think the future for females in aviation is to work together.
Yep.
I think that's the way forward, especially with the political climate that we're having right now. It's important that we show up. We said we belong here. We will stand our ground. We have the qualifications, and mentor those girls that come behind us and women to be bold, to be brave, to be resilient, because I think resilience is going to be key in the next 10 years.
Yeah. And Houa, I think you kind of talked on culture. Culture is one of our favorite words in human resources, by the way. We love that word, culture. But you talked a little bit about how important culture was and how it actually, someone helped you and gave you job shadowing and told you when the job was posted and encouraged you to apply. That's the culture here. Can you tell us a little bit about how culture impacts careers, or maybe how culture impacted your career here at United?
Yeah. So my personal experience with culture here has been great, just because I've had so much support from the people around me. And I think that's just because everyone is so welcoming, especially when you express where you want to do with the company, where you want to go. Everybody kind of seems to be on your side and want to see you succeed. And that's been the culture here that I've had through the August will be 11 years with the company, right?
Really?
And so, yeah, so I've been here for quite some time.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah, that's the experience I've had so far. It's been just the culture at United is that we want to see you succeed, and everyone's there to help you succeed, and everyone that is there to lend a helping hand when you need it. So,
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. I'm trying to think of some other questions off the top of my head really quickly. I want you to answer another one. So I'm trying to think of one. Go ahead. Take the mic. Yes. Yes. Give it to me.
Leading off of what Veronica said, I mean, it's very important to also be represented.
Yeah.
A lot of our customers only see what's at the airport,
Absolutely.
which doesn't include what I do, what you do, and there's so much out there outside of being a pilot or what you see at the airports. And I think it's important that we represent that and that they see that there's other opportunities.
I 100% agree. That's actually my job. Like, my job is to tell people about opportunities that they don't see represented at the airport. So that's fantastic feedback. If you'd like to leave this audience with one thing to know about careers at United, or one thing around your experience at United, what would it be?
If I have to think about asking about United, I have worked for 5 major airlines, and I do have to say we have the best culture. Not only in tech ops, but we have an amazing culture that is inclusive. It holds you accountable, and we should hold you accountable for your position, for your job, but we're also very empathetic. We have a lot of affinity groups. We have employee assistance. Our benefits to travel are uncomparable. So I think that if I have to leave anybody with anything for United, is when you're looking for an employer, you're looking for the culture. Money is good, but that culture that you can wake up and not sit in your car and be like, should I clock in? Or should I walk into my office? That's the culture we offer you. We're a culture that you walk in and I feel renewed and energized. every day. I mean, look at this today. Like this is an amazing panel. So I work for the best airline in the world. Hands up.
Veronica, mic drop. I don't know. Like that was pretty amazing.
That should be.
I feel like you're gonna have a career in recruiting. We may have to bring you over to HR in a little bit. I mean, anybody have anything else to add?
Mine would be take risks and ask the questions. I started at United 3 years ago. I was on the line as just a line pilot, living my dream, happy as a clam. And then I started asking questions. I got to go be an instructor at TK at the training center. And then I was asking more questions. How do I better me? Because it's all about me and I'm selfish. But by asking those questions, I got put into a position where I could be a manager and I could help pilots and I could give back. So I would say take risks and ask questions.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm like,
I think one thing that I would like people to know is that I am very proud to work for United. I get to fly a lot. I have the opportunity to travel a lot. And I'm still amazed when I walk on a plane and we close the door on time and we depart on, because I know what it takes from behind the scenes and everyone that is needed to make that flight happen. And it amazes me. And I'm proud to be part of that team and to see all of our customers get to where they want to go in a safe and efficient manner.
100%. Thank you.
So I think mine would have to be that United has so many opportunities. And if you don't even know what you want to do yet in the aviation industry, but you know you want to be in the industry, you should come to United and just start the entry level job, because they will give you the opportunity to try the different things that we have. And we have so many opportunities within United. It's not just being a pilot or customer service or ramp or IT. There is so much more to United than just the few things that people really know about. And so if you really don't know, but you want to be in aviation, just go for it. And the opportunities are there.
Yeah. So this has been an absolute pleasure. And I am really grateful that each of you has been open to sharing your stories and your experience and all of the wonderful opportunities that you've had here at United. And thank you for all that you're doing to go make this airline a wonderful airline as we grow in the future. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A special thanks to the ladies of United for joining us and sharing their stories. And we'll see you on the next episode of On Air.